Leo. Hi. Welcome. Welcome. My name is Yubi. I'm your astro-friendly Latina therapist, entertaining tarot with you. This is Tarot My Becoming. These are general. I'm laughing because of what I just meditated on you, and just the last scene I was like, oh. I'll explain it in a minute. But these are general readings, and so it could be that the title called you here. It could be, I hope you have your journal ready, that you're writing things down. It could be a word, it could be a sentence, it could be the entire message that resonates. It could be a word or something that I say that evokes a strong emotion. Make sure you write it down so that you can go back and unpack it later. All the while said, if this story does not resonate with you, then it's not your story. Don't make it fit. Be discerning about the information that I share, or that anybody shares for that matter. You get to choose what makes sense for you. You get to choose what you want to listen to. You get to choose what will help you grow. That's the power that you have. All right, Leo. When I was meditating for you, the first thing I saw was a building, a tall building, and climbing up the building to the top. You are climbing up the building. Think about like those really intense athletes, I'm gonna call them, but you know how they're able to jump from one side to the other in a very closed place, and they're climbing up a building without holding on to anything, like that. You were climbing up the building all the way to the top. So it could be you're climbing a building, it could be you're climbing to get to the top of something. The next thing I experienced was a bunch of goosebumps all over my body. So it could be intuition, it could be fear, it could be increased sensitivity is the only thing I can think of. And then the third scene that I saw for you, it was in Spanish. It was at a park, and someone was saying to someone else, cámbiate los chones aquí, like aquí cámbiate los chones, something like that. So in English it's like, change your underwear here. And so I started laughing. That's what I started laughing, because it was in Spanish. Cámbiate los chones aquí, and it's chones, so it's just like slang for underwear. So yeah, like changing your underwear in public. So I looked it up because it reminds me of going to the restroom in public. Those were dreams that I used to have like a lot. And I learned that a lot of that was the dream for me was always needing to go to the restroom. And every time I go into the restroom, it looked private. And then, like, let's say I'm going into a stall, but then the holes on the walls like were widened, so people could actually see me poop. Or sometimes I would dream like I need to go to the restroom. I go into the restroom and it looks safe. I go in and it's a corner restroom, but then there's no door. Or I go in and then the toilet is on top of, like, above the stalls, so people could see. So there was this constant theme of like my shit being blasted on, like, public. And that was a major theme in my life, like story time with Yubi. Even when I was younger, I had a hard time journaling, because anytime I kept a journal, it was always exposed. Whether it was my siblings, whether it was a friend, whether it was my mom going through my stuff, like, and I couldn't keep anything private. So it was like preparing me over the course of my life for things to come out. And if you don't know my story, now you know it's 616. I have 3 YouTube channels. This is the third one. The first one is called You Becoming. You're more than welcome to go check that out. But that's like my shit on blast. That's my heart on blast. I'm crying on like everything. Like that was me 5 years ago. So go check that out if you haven't done so already. If you want the chisme. If you want to know how I've become, the person that I've become, that's the place to start. But anyways, those themes of those dreams, I finally got to a dream where I was able to poop. in public, in private. And that was towards the end of my healing journey. I had that dream, and it was such a beautiful restroom. It was pink inside. It was like really pretty. And I'm not very girly, like, and so it was clearing out. I knew for me, symbolically, it meant feminine, like the feminine side of me. I was healing the feminine side of me. And I remember it was so pretty, and I remember feeling like a little girl and being so happy poopy. I'll never forget that dream. It was so relieving to have finally a dream where I'm privately like pooping and having fun pooping. So pooping is symbolically like cleansing. This is very similar, right? Aquí cámbiate los chones. Change your underwear here in public, right? So it symbolizes vulnerability. I looked it up. Anxiety about fear, being judged, fears of exposure regarding your private life, secrets, insecurities, right? In public. So there could be some type of exposure in public as you're climbing up the top. Goosebumps, right? Could be your intuition heightening, your sensitivity heightening, fear. It could also be fear, right? We get goosebumps when we're excited, when we're afraid, when we feel something approaching. So all possibilities, right? In terms of the symbolic presentation. But Leo, when I was looking at what this past year was for you and where you're going next year, Happy New Year, by the way, because it is January 1st by the time this gets posted. So in 2025, you were asked to tap into your instinct, right? You were asked to assess and to go within. You were, I don't know if you did or not, but you were asked to tap into mindfulness, meditation, anything that was going to help you tune into your intuition. And that when you practice going into your intuition, depending on where you are on your healing journey, depending on what life experiences you've had, especially if they've been intense life experiences, it can be hard to determine, well, what is my intuition? For some people, it can be really hard. For others, it just strengthens it. So you decide where you are. But you were asked to tap into that. You were asked to differentiate between fear, your actual intuition, fear, a response to fear, right, which is the trauma response, or you disregarding your intuition, right, gaslighting yourself. So you were asked to explore that last year, how you were judging other people, right, realizing like that maybe people that had been a part of your life ended up going against you, right? And at the same time, someone that you don't know, that maybe you would have normally had your guard up, ended up being someone of confidence. So kind of learning, right? In terms of like trusting your intuition, but also not to judge a book by its cover. This next year, with Pluto in Aquarius, you are being asked to rethink your belief systems. So this could be childhood belief systems, societal belief systems, family belief systems. You're being asked to challenge them. They're going to be challenged. And you are being asked to be flexible and entertain new ways of thinking, new ways of looking at a situation. And that might require you to let go of some of those old belief systems so that you can adopt and or create new ones that are more in alignment with where you are and where you are going. You are also going to encounter challenges with relationships, boundaries. You might continue to find yourself in situations where there is microaggressions or disrespect, lack of disrespect, and where you're going to really have to put your foot down this year. And it's really all about how you are becoming the leader that you're becoming. How are you breaking free from toxic dynamics, toxic boundaries, toxic relationships, and what type of authentic leadership, because Leo is about leadership, will you embrace? What kind of leader are you going to become? And so that's going to really impact how you do, right? How you act, what you say, you know, and how you manage being judged, right? How you manage your vulnerability, right? Because I think I just mentioned this to Aries. Was it Aries? I think so. It was about leadership. What type of leader do you want to be? And nowadays, there's a lot of leaning in towards heart-based leadership, inspiring others. And you're in the year where you are going to be challenged to clear out people, experiences that aren't in alignment with the leader that you are becoming. And so that's, you know, it's not an easy task, but Leo, you are up for the challenge. So let's jump right in to the reading. 3 cards for the overall energy. And then we'll end it. Oh, there's one, time. Time, this one always reminds me of Sagittarian energy, the alchemy, the transformation behind the scene, because it's in divine timing. In divine timing. There's also something here, the red right here in terms of communication. I don't know if it's blocked. That could be a part of like your authenticity, like communicating, fearing communication. Red is often root chakra stuff. So fear on your stability, your sense of security, sense of belongingness, right? So how you express yourself, how you communicate could be what is being evaluated right now, or what is calling out. There's also inner child stuff. There's a baby right here. Maybe right here underneath. You could be asked to heal some inner child wounds around communication. Yeah. Let's see what the next 2 are. 2 more, please, for Leo. There's one. Influence. You have a lot of influence. Your third eye is being opened. Look at how gentle she's holding on to the dove. She's holding on to the dove in a very gentle way. Like knowing that the dove's heart is smaller. Look at all those cycles at the top too. So there's definitely something about transformation, change with the cycles. Gentleness with the influence that you have, right? How can you be a gentle but influential leader? Oh, productivity. Yeah. Earth energy. You may have Capricorn in your chart. There's healing the inner child. There's a mother wound maybe that's being activated through this process. Something that you're nurturing, a pentacle. But it's also Leo. Look at how confident she is and how scared this little girl is. So there's definitely something about, yeah, maybe there's a mother wound around productivity, feeling, like around work. Could be around work. Relationships at work maybe, or how family life is bleeding into work. I mean, when you're asked to challenge your norm, the rules that you were brought up with, that's home energy, right? Like, what were you taught as a child? How is that presenting itself in the outside world, especially if work is a big part of your life? How are those either childhood wounds, mother wounds, or just those rules impacting your productivity? Yeah, it's impacting your productivity. And so being open to looking at those from another perspective, changing those, something that's more in alignment with what you're wanting to create for yourself. Whether that's a new family or a new work environment, or maybe you're taking on a new leadership role. Yeah. How are you presenting? How you're presenting is how you present to the world, how the world sees you. It's the outer shell. But you're presenting with the Ace of Swords. So truth. Truth is definitely coming to the foreground. That's how you're presenting what's crossing you. The crossing energy could be the opportunity that the universe is like, hey, you want to consider this on your path? Do you want to revisit this? Do you want to look at this from another perspective? The crossing energies, Page of Cups, a new beginning, maybe a new opportunity, emotional opportunity. It could be starting something new with someone again, or someone new entering your life. Let's go a layer underneath. What are you really tapping into? Is it your truth that you're tapping into? Oh, 2 cards. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Talk about truth. The Knight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. You are definitely tapping into your truth, not just any truth, but you've been to battle. You're in battle mode right now. This is the energy that you're tapping into, or that's tapping into you underneath the Ace of Truth. So there's some conflict over truth that you are in the middle of. Look, even the tower is burning. There's a tower here that's burning. So it's almost like you've gone to battle, you're ready with your truth, and you're cycling out of something. This card always feels like someone's getting thrown off. So it's like the tower moment. You know, it's kind of like the tower where someone gets thrown off, but it's like your truth is cutting someone out. It could be a third-party situation. Third-party situation could be a lot of different things. But there's definitely something about cutting somebody out, leveling up, leveling out of a conflict around truth. It could be lack of truth. It could be seeing through someone's bullshit. It could be, I mean, it could be a lot of different things. But that's the energy that you're actually in right now. So yeah, definitely Ace of Truth, Ace of Swords. What's the hidden energy? The hidden energy could be potential to help you. It has the potential to help you. It has the potential to hold you back. It has the potential to just unfold without you knowing it's going to unfold as a natural consequence of the story. You have the Page of Rods, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Rods, which is like the Knight of Wands. So it's Leo energy, it's fire energy. Passionate energy, moving forward. It's one of the fast moving knights, but the knight doesn't look like they're moving fast. This particular knight doesn't. Usually they're on a horse. This one's not. But technically it's fast moving energy. So that's in the potential energy, in the hidden energy. So you may not know that you might be moving forward quickly. You may not know, or it could be someone coming towards you, a Knight of Rods, someone who's passionate coming towards you. Or it could be the energy you're needing to tap into because it's Aries, or it's fire energy, which is also you. You're a fire sign, to help you move forward, to help you get over that wheel. What are you walking away from, Leo? What are you walking away from? Oh, the Hierophant. Taurus energy. The Hierophant is the structures, the rules, the regulations, like very structure, Taurus, earth. I don't know if you're walking away from an earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Or you're walking away from very rigid rules, very rigid belief systems, a very rigid way of ruling, of leading. Look at how rigid they are. Very formal, very formal. What are you walking towards? What are you walking towards? Conflict, Five of Wands. It's conflict, but it's also practicing conflict. So it could be opportunities to practice communication, conflict resolution skills, how to interact with other people. I mean, if you are in leadership, or you're stepping into leadership, as the prediction for next year is, this is probably what you're going to embrace. It could be as a result of this truth telling, or truth cutting, or truth owning experience. I can clarify more of that when we get to the clarification section. What's your stitch? What's the situation around you? Or maybe this will help highlight what that, yeah. Page of Pentacles. The situation around you is about resources, learning something new. Page of Pentacles is learning something new. So you're learning something new about either resources, about conflict resolution, about owning your truth, right? About a new opportunity in love. You're learning maybe how to start a friendship, how to start a new connection, a fresh connection. This could be as a result, the opportunity, right, was the Page of Cups. So it could be that as a result of all the clearing out, because the wheel is up there. I mean, look, it's like the universe is clearing out what's no longer serving you, right? Throwing off what no longer is aligned with you. And so that opens it up for new beginnings. When you clear out experiences, people that no longer align for you, it opens up the door to learning something new in a relationship. Yeah. Hopes. Yeah, Judgment. And oh, look at this one, Six of Cups. Their hope is that you'll go through a transformation, that symbolically, right, you'll die and then be brought back to life in a more lighthearted way, a playful way, a way where you connect with other people. You know, Six of Cups energy is very, it could be looked at in a lot of different ways. It could be nostalgia. It could be soulmate energy. It could be healing the inner child, right? But for whatever reason, it's feeling relationship wise for me. It's how you're doing relationships moving forward. That's the hope, that with this transformation of your truth, right, the exposure of your choness, right, as you level up, there's going to be a playful energy. Look, they're creating things together. Cup energy, they're creating flowers, they're creating abundance. So the hope is that you'll be able to go through this transformation and be productive, create something new, not just for yourself, but with others. What's the fear? Oh, fear is the Four of Swords. The fear is the pain. The fear is the healing that's going to, or feeling like the pain won't go away. This is healing energy. This is going within. But the fear could be, will this continue? Like, will there be no end to the pain, to the conflict, to this transformative experience? Will there be no end to it? Or do I have to do it, right? Not a lot of people like to feel their feelings. Especially when they're intense feelings, because when you're in it, you're in it. And when you're in it, it feels like there's no end. But there is. When you know what to expect and how to, I'm fine-tuning a course right now on how to master your healing process, so that people can better understand what to expect, like really understand what to expect. Because oftentimes you get your traditional, like, oh, things will get worse before they get better comments from even therapists, right? But I've actually outlined the step, like, this is what you'll expect, and you'll be in this phase, and you'll be in this phase, and so that people know what to expect, and it's not so scary, and you'll be able to track your own progress, really, right? So that it doesn't feel like you're healing forever. But there is an end. But okay, outcome. 10 of Wands. Yeah, burdens. Carrying everybody else's burden. This is the outcome. So let's get some clarification. What's underneath? Grief. Okay. What's happening? What's happening, Leo? I'm wondering, it's how you're navigating your communication. It's how you're navigating the truth. There's going to be grief, and that's going to be part of the healing process. That's going to be part of the transformation, but let's get clarification. I'm going to clarify. I want to clarify the 5 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, let's clarify the Five of Wands and the Ten of Wands. All right, let's clarify the Five of Wands. That's what you're walking towards. Clarify the Five of Wands, please. Five of Wands. Oh, we get Five of Wands again. No joke. It's repeated. The universe is like, I meant what I said, right? Conflict, strife. You're going towards conflict. Clarify the Ten of Wands, please. Clarify the Ten of Wands. I think this is a part Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is usually a calling. This has Dominion. I haven't used this deck, by the way. This is the first time in a long time that I used this. This was my first tarot deck, the Sun and Moon Tarot. So you have the Two of Wands. Let's get two more. Dominion, dominating. Two of Wands. Two of Wands energy is usually following a calling, like being called somewhere. But it's almost like you're being called into the fire, or the fire is calling you. You're getting the Five of Cups again. Disappointment. One more, please. Jeez. The universe is like, it's no joke. It's going to be challenging. There's going to be disappointment. You're being called into the fire. Yeah. You're being called into the fire. Four of Wands, completion. Usually the Four of Wands is, you got these three for the 10 of the outcome. So for the outcome, you get the Two of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Four of Wands. Usually the Four of Wands is freedom. This one doesn't feel like freedom for me. This one feels like a completion, a cycle completing. You with another person, you are arguing, you're in conflict with another person. The burden, you're carrying the burden, you're being called towards the fire to clear something out. There's going to be disappointment, grief, maybe even regret, but this is going to end a cycle. This is a cycle that's overdue, because the cycle, like you have, it's an overdue conflict. It's an overdue, like where truth, like there was either manipulation, there was either hiding, there was either the lack of communicating, but something about communication for sure, that you've been in, but it's going to end a cycle. It's going to end a cycle with you and somebody else. Let's get 3 cards of advice and or more clarification, if there's more clarification that's needed for you. 1, 2. You have the High Priestess, the Nine of Pentacles. One more, please. 5 of Swords, defeat. Okay. High Priestess, intuition. Tap into your intuition. Tap into your spirituality. Remember I said about goosebumpies? You have a knowing. The High Priestess knows. The High Priestess has knowledge. The High Priestess understands the light and the dark. They're connected to spirit. So meditation is going to be important. The Nine of Pentacles, gain. Nine of Pentacles is very much self-care. It's very much knowing boundaries. It's knowing how much to give and how much to receive. Just knowing how to manage your resources, whether that's money, time, effort, knowledge. Yeah, it's knowing how much to give. Like this person is going to give some flowers away, but they're keeping some for themselves. So there's an understanding, and the word is gain here. So there's going to be a gaining experience after this conflict. 5 of Swords. I almost want to say that you're going to be this person right here. There's defeat. There's defeat. Someone is not, I mean, there's always the duality of life, right? When there's conflict, someone wins, someone doesn't win, right? There's winning and then there's defeat. So it's like looking like, look, there's conflict, right? It's going to end a cycle, but then it's like one of you wins. One of you wins, one of you doesn't. And I think judgment, the calling to transform. I think it's just going to be painful. I think it's just going to be painful. Whichever end you're at, wherever you are on that, it's going to be painful. I mean, whenever there's conflict, it doesn't really feel good, you know? And there's going to be disappointment. Yeah. But there's opportunities. With every disappointment, there's always an opportunity. With every failure, there's always a win around the corner. I think it's just a matter of how you look at the situation that's going to be a part of the growth experience, how you tap into your intuition, how you manage your boundaries, right? Your self-care, your needs, how to communicate that. Let's get an oracle card for you, Leo. Oh, that was fast. Deep knowing. Yeah. I will read the relationship and the protection message as well for you. Deep knowing. This reminds me of the High Priestess, 43. Here we go. Intuition. Listening to the oracle within. Empathy. Hypersensitivity. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with Source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of human experience. You're given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then to act accordingly. You are now invited into this sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. I'm going to read the relationship one because of all the conflict and drama that I saw. There are occasions when you just know, deep in your heart and soul, that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected to a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched inedibly into your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. That could also be, as I'm thinking about what I read regarding what your learning was this past year and where you're headed to next year, it could also be someone that came into your life that you knew was going to have a transformative experience with you. And in a way that you didn't expect. So not necessarily all, birds and butterflies, but also like karmic ties are people that are divinely guided so that you can learn and grow from them in a challenging way. And that could be this person that you're connected to. There could be some type of karma, some type of like divine destined connection that needed this conflict to occur to create some type of conclusion, some type of completion that's been lingering. I'm going to read the protection message for you too. You are in empathy overload and need to get grounded again, so tune out for a bit. Hypersensitive, you're suffering from psychic exhaustion. This signals a time for a recharging of your batteries. Set energetic boundaries, take a salt bath, empty your mind, and get back to you. It's not a time to be too open. Soon enough, you can let your guard down. Right now, you need self-care and self-love. It's time to say no thank you to anyone in your life who exhausts you. Won't that feel good? It's about healthy boundaries, right? That's what the thing said, the thing. The prediction from this year said for you is healthy boundaries, managing those healthy boundaries. as part of leadership, right? Yeah, so I hope this was helpful for you. Hit the like button if that made sense for you. Leo, share the message if you think it's going to help somebody else. I believe that this is supposed to happen. Endings are supposed to happen. We're at the end of a year starting something new. And I think this was something that's long overdue. Long overdue to clear out of the path that you're needing to go on for your own growth, for your own, your ability to influence, right? Your ability to take on that leadership role that you're meant to take on. So, Leo, we'll see you next time. Be safe.